Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I'm not feeling well, so I'm sounding a little bit funny. I'm so sorry to make this the intro of this video, but I am taking y'all back to the basics. If you are a tumbler beginner, this is definitely a good video for you. I'm going to show you how I made this super easy, beginner friendly kids cup. It says gobble till you wobble. It's perfect for Thanksgiving. Really cute. So let's dive right in and get started. So first off, I want to say sorry if you can hear my neighbor weed eating. He's pretty close to the house, so if you can hear the buzzing, I'm so sorry. He should be done soon. But this is a 9-ounce kids tumbler, and I am going to start by sanding it. Now, this was a stripped tumbler, so it was designed, had epoxy on it. I stripped it down. So if you can still see like little spots here and there, that's why. So I'm going to start prepping with an 80 grit sanding block. So I'm going to sand it all over and then wipe it down with 91% rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. Okay, now that this is sanded, it's cleaned off, now I'm going to go outside and spray paint the tumbler with Speeding Ticket from Color Shop Paints. So I just want to point out that whenever you are doing your spray painting, like your base coat, it's really important to go in short bursts, kind of like I'm doing here, rather than just like holding down on the spray can bottle and just letting it go. This just really helps prevent running and like the big globs of spray paint. It just overall gives you a much cleaner, even, beautiful coat of spray paint. Alright, so now the paint is good and dry, it's time to move on to the glitter, and I'm going to be putting burgundy from the glitter grind all over this tumbler, just covering the entire thing. And that's why I base painted it this burgundy-ish red color, because it's really important to base paint your tumbler the same or as similar as possible of a color to the glitter that you are using, because it makes it a lot easier to get like a full coverage with just one coat, so you don't have to add the glitter, wait for it to dry, seal it, wait for that to dry, go back with more glitter, repeat. So I like to do my glitter with Mod Podge and a soft makeup brush. So what I'm going to do is just put a good healthy coat of Mod Podge all over the tumbler. And I like to go in just one direction instead of like going crazy all over it. Except for like around the edges here, I will go this way around the edges to make sure that everything is completely covered there, because that's really easy to miss. And then just go back over it again to make sure everything is nice and smooth and even. And then just take the glitter. I like to start at the top, go all the way around, and then just tilt and let everything fall. It's a really quick way to get the entire tumbler covered. And then don't forget the bottom as well. And then I have my parchment paper down here to catch all of the glitter that has not fallen onto the tumbler so I can put it back. But I'm just shaking off any excess glitter. And a nice, beautiful coverage with a beautiful color, which matches my nails, and I love it. So now I'm just going to put all of the glitter that fell on my parchment paper here back into the container so nothing is wasted. And then I'm going to let this tumbler sit for about 5 minutes is all it really needs to let that Mod Podge dry underneath of this glitter. And then I'm going to go outside and spray the entire tumbler with this clear sealant. This is really going to lock the glitter into place so it doesn't move around when I add my epoxy here in just a minute. But this is what I use. It's Rust-Oleum Clear Enamel. This is my absolute favorite clear sealant spray. I use it for my glitter and for my water slides. I really like it. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to take this outside, cover the entire tumbler just like I did with the spray paint in the beginning, and then give that about 15 minutes to dry. Okay, now this is completely dry, and you might notice whenever you add the clear sealant spray that your glitter looks a little dull. It doesn't look as bright and shiny as it did before. Do not worry, I promise once you add the epoxy, it will shine back up again. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to add the first layer of epoxy. I use KS Resin Liquid Art. It is my absolute favorite epoxy, and after you put this on, you want to let it cure overnight. I let mine sit for about 24 hours before I add another coat. You don't necessarily have to wait that long. You can probably add another coat after like 10 hours or so, but I only work once a day, so I just get out here the next day. But I'm just applying a smooth, even layer with a gloved hand and letting it spin overnight. Okay, so there's one coat of epoxy on here, and it is mainly smooth, but it still needs another coat before we move on. Mainly up here around the edge and the bottom down here, and there's a couple little rough spots here and there. So what we're going to do is, I like to take a little knife and start scraping some of the glitter that got kind of like too far up on the rim, and then I'm going to go in with the same sanding block that I used in the beginning and give everything a good sanding, paying attention to here and down here. And then whenever I'm sanding up here, I like to sand enough to where there is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the original stainless steel showing. And what that's going to do is give all of the future coats of epoxy something to grip onto, so everything will be good and sturdy. So let's go ahead and start cleaning this up and sanding it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just add a second coat of epoxy, and then tomorrow will be decal day. So I have my decal here that I got from Creative Fabrica in my Silhouette studio, and what I'm going to do is select the entire thing and then hit the offset button, which is that little star up in the top. And whenever you do that, it creates kind of like a background, so you can have kind of like a shadow of another vinyl color. So I'm going to do the background first, and I am just going to select the entire thing and scoot it up to the corner so I'm not wasting any vinyl. And then I like to cut this at a blade depth of 3 and a force of 13, and I'm just cutting this out in Oracle 651 white permanent vinyl. And then it's time to do the top part, so I'm just going to select all of that offset and delete it. Hit send, do the same thing, scoot it up to the corner here, and I'm cutting it at the same blade depth and pressure as the last one, and this one is going to be a gold textured vinyl. Okay, so now that they are cut out, they look super, super cute, and what I like to do is apply the offset first. So I'm going to do this white one. I'm going to apply each layer one at a time. So I'm going to do the offset first. And when I first apply my decal, I like to stand my tumbler up and get eye level with it and apply it like so. That's how I can really get a good straight decal. And then whenever I go to apply the top layer, the main one here, I will put my tumbler on a cup cradle that I got from Bama Cups. And that is going to help me get my second layer on nice and straight. I'm going to lay down my cup cradle, add my tumbler, and I'm going to be putting this directly in the middle. So I'm going to try to get it centered up as much as I can. And this Y here actually must have moved when I was weeding it and I didn't realize it. So I'm going to very, very carefully just pick it up. I'm glad this happened so I can show you guys, if it happens to you, that it can be fixed. I'm going to very, very carefully pick it up and just reposition it with my little weeding pick here. There we go. Now the only thing that's left to do for now is to add 2 coats of epoxy, and then we'll come back and clean up the inside. It'll be completely done. Alright, so before I start, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I know I sound really bad this morning. I am not feeling so hot today, and it's a lot in my throat. So, with that being said, I'm so sorry for sounding a little weird today. So, this has 2 top coats of epoxy on it. Everything is nice and smooth. It feels great. So now there's some spray paint inside the rims here, and we need to get that out. So what I do is I take some pure acetone. This is the one that I use. I'll have it linked in the description. I get it on Amazon, and I just fill it up, or I fill this up with the acetone. It's one of those little like pump bottles. It's just a lot more convenient, and I will also have this linked in the description as well. And I take some paper towels, and I just, a couple pumps of acetone, and it cleans this right out, like so. I might have to go over it a few times, just to make sure that all of the paint is out. So I'll just fold my paper towel over, give it another go. And right here, if you can see, there's just a little bit of epoxy. So I'm just going to very gently take my little knife and scrape that off. And just continue cleaning. And then whenever I get all of the spray paint out, what I like to do is take my tumbler in the house and wash the inside with some soap and water and like a baby bottle brush, just to make sure it is really, really clean. But other than that, this is all done. And that is all I have for you guys today. This is absolutely adorable. I love it. Gobble till you wobble. It's so cute. And before I go, like always, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day. And today's quote is, "Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. We are all the same in this notion. The potential for greatness lives within each of us." That is all I have for you guys today. I really, really hope this was helpful for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. I love this color so much. Obviously, my nails are about the same color. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, like always, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!